We've all been there, starting a new project with fierce determination, only to find our enthusiasm fading like a summer sunset. It's a common experience, one that can leave us feeling frustrated and questioning our abilities. We begin with a burst of energy, convinced that this time will be different, that we'll see it through to the end. But somewhere along the way, our initial excitement wanes, and the project that once seemed so promising starts to feel like a burden. Why is it so hard to stay consistent? Why do we struggle to maintain the momentum we had at the start? These questions are at the heart of understanding motivation. The answer lies in understanding the science of motivation. It's not just about willpower or determination. It's about understanding the underlying mechanisms that drive our behavior. Motivation is a complex interplay of psychological and physiological factors that influence our actions and decisions. Motivation is the invisible force that propels us toward our goals. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning and keeps us moving forward, even when the going gets tough. It's the drive that pushes us to achieve our dreams and overcome obstacles. It's the fuel that ignites our actions and the compass that guides our journey. Without motivation, we would be lost, wandering aimlessly without direction or purpose. Without it, even the most straightforward tasks can feel like an uphill battle. Everyday activities that should be simple and routine become daunting challenges when our motivation is low. But here's the good news. Motivation isn't some elusive superpower. It's a skill you can cultivate and harness. Just like any other skill, it can be developed and strengthened with practice and the right strategies. Think of it like this. Motivation is the spark, but consistency is the firewood that keeps the fire burning. The initial spark of motivation is important, but it's the consistent effort that sustains our progress and leads to long-term success. By understanding the different types of motivation and how they work, we can learn to stoke the flames of our own drive and achieve lasting change. There are various theories and models of motivation, each offering unique insights into how we can harness this powerful force. This journey begins with a deep dive into the two primary types of motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic motivation comes from within. It's driven by personal satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is driven by external rewards and recognition. Each plays a unique role in shaping our behaviors and influencing our ability to stay consistent. Understanding the balance between these two types of motivation can help us tailor our approach to different tasks and goals. By understanding the strengths and limitations of each, we can create a personalized roadmap for success. This roadmap will guide us in leveraging our intrinsic and extrinsic motivators to stay on track and achieve our objectives. With the right strategies and a deeper understanding of motivation, we can transform our fleeting bursts of enthusiasm into sustained, meaningful progress. Imagine this. You're learning to play the guitar. The strings feel unfamiliar under your fingers, and the chords are challenging to master. But there's a spark within you, a drive that keeps you going. Is your motivation fueled by the sheer joy of creating music, the thrill of each note resonating in harmony, or the desire to impress your friends at a party, showcasing your newfound skills? Both types of motivation have their place, but understanding their nuances is crucial. Knowing what drives you can help you harness your energy more effectively. Intrinsic motivation arises from within. It's the feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment we get from engaging in activities that are inherently enjoyable or meaningful to us. This could be anything from pursuing a hobby like painting or gardening to tackling a challenging problem at work. When we're intrinsically motivated, we're engaged in the activity for the pure pleasure of it, not for external rewards or recognition. Think about the last time you lost track of time while doing something you love. That's intrinsic motivation at work. It's a powerful force that can lead to deep satisfaction and long-term engagement. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation stems from external factors. It's driven by the desire to achieve a specific outcome, such as a reward, praise, or avoidance of punishment. Think of deadlines, bonuses, or the fear of letting others down. While extrinsic motivation can be effective in the short term, it often lacks the staying power of intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic rewards can sometimes undermine intrinsic motivation. For example, if you start playing the guitar for the love of music, but then shift your focus to winning competitions, you might find the joy diminishing. However, extrinsic motivation isn't inherently bad. It can be a useful tool to kickstart an activity or push through a difficult phase. The key is to balance both types of motivation. By understanding what drives you, you can create a more sustainable and fulfilling approach to your goals. Whether it's the joy of the journey or the rewards at the end, both can play a role in fueling your drive. So next time you pick up your guitar, ask yourself, what's fueling your drive? Is it the music itself or the applause that follows? Embrace both, but let the music lead the way. In the end, the most powerful motivation comes from within. Find your passion, nurture it, and let it guide you to new heights. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. This fundamental principle drives much of our behavior, often without us even realizing it. Enter dopamine, a neurotransmitter that plays a starring role in our brain's reward system. Dopamine is released in response to rewarding experiences, creating a sense of pleasure and satisfaction. When we engage in activities we find pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, creating a sense of satisfaction and reinforcing that behavior. This is why we feel so good when we laugh with friends, win a game, or indulge in a hobby. This dopamine-driven reward system is what makes habits so powerful. When we start a new activity, like exercising or learning a new skill, the initial dopamine rush encourages us to keep going. When we repeat a behavior consistently, our brain learns to associate it with that dopamine rush, making us more likely to repeat it in the future. This is how habits are formed, whether it's jogging every morning, studying daily, or practicing a professional skill. This is why we crave that morning cup of coffee. The routine of brewing and drinking coffee becomes associated with a dopamine release, making it a habit we look forward to each day. Or why we mindlessly scroll through social media. Each like, comment, or new post provides a tiny hit of dopamine, keeping us hooked and coming back for more. However, this reward system can be a double-edged sword. While it helps us form good habits, it can also lead us down the path of instant gratification and procrastination. We might find ourselves choosing junk food over healthy options or binge-watching TV instead of working. Breaking bad habits can be challenging because our brain is wired to seek that dopamine rush. But understanding this mechanism can help us make conscious choices to replace negative behaviors with positive ones. Understanding how dopamine influences our behavior is key to harnessing its power for good. By being aware of how our brain's reward system works, we can take steps to form healthier habits and make better choices, and breaking free from the clutches of instant gratification. With knowledge and effort, we can rewire our brains to seek long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, leading to a more fulfilling and productive life. Imagine embarking on a journey without a destination in mind. You might wander aimlessly, lacking direction and motivation. The same principle applies to our goals. Without a clear purpose, our efforts can feel disjointed and uninspiring, making it challenging to stay consistent. Purpose provides us with a North Star, a guiding force that gives meaning to our actions and fuels our motivation. When we connect our daily tasks to a larger purpose, we're more likely to persevere through challenges and stay committed to the process. But purpose alone isn't enough. We need to translate our aspirations into concrete, achievable goals. This is where the concept of SMART goals comes in. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. They provide a clear roadmap for success, breaking down overwhelming aspirations into manageable steps that propel us forward.